Yes.
Well, we've seen the videos you put out on Twitter about having, nice view in Chicago and everything. So I guess how's fight week been for you since, touching down?
I mean, it's been really great. I haven't spent a lot of time in Chicago, but we stayed in Wicker Park the first couple nights. Super cool.
It's the best neighborhood.
Yeah, food was great. People super nice. Honestly, it couldn't be better. They get better and better every time, honestly.
You've been around the sport for a long time. You fought on big cards. You fought in, the tough gym and everything. So I assume like the spotlight and everything isn't new to you. But a guy like Kai, when his name comes across, a lot of diehard fans have a lot of hype around him coming in. I guess so. What did you make of Kai as an opponent? Were you happy that you got this matchup?
I'm super happy about the matchup. I mean, I was in the UFC before USADA, and I'm in the UFC after USADA. So I fought on the big stages, on small stages, but honestly, fighting Kai is getting me a chance to be on the pay-per-view portion. I'm only fighting on the pay-per-view part because I'm fighting Kai. So, I owe him a little bit for that. I'm excited to be here, and I love that. But I've been around for a long time and rarely get a fight on a pay-per-view card. So, that's all him. That's all his doing.
You seem like someone that's, you watch MMA outside of the UFC, so, or maybe you don't, but I guess, did you know much of Kai before he did sign? Because, champion in another promotion in your weight class specifically.
I know a little bit about him. I know that he fought Hiramasa, who's a friend of mine, and we fought each other. And also, he fought my friend Juan Archuleta, who's cornered me in several fights. Cornered me when I fought Demetrius Johnson, one of my best friends. But I don't watch too much tape on guys anymore. It's kind of like a deterrent. When I watch my opponents, I only see the good things that they do, and when I watch myself, I only see the bad. So at this point in my career, I kind of just let my coaches do that. I try not to. I like to watch the fights, but I try not to analyze anything because I'm not a thinker. I'm a doer. I like to just go out and do. And if I put too much thought into it, it'll hinder me. So I know who he is, and I know he's a great athlete. I know he's a great fighter, but I've not watched too many of his fights, to be honest.
Going off of that, did you watch his last fight against Pantoja? Because he was in here and he said he wasn't used to the cage because he used to fighting into a ring, and now that he's got his feet wet, like fans should expect a different Kai Asakura.
Yeah, man, I would imagine it's very different. I feel like I would be the same way if I was fighting in a ring. I expect him to be the best version of himself that there is, and it's totally different, I suppose. I've never been in a ring before, but I mean, it's going to take more than one. But he's a fighter. At the end of the day, he's really good at it. Where we're fighting and how we're fighting is not going to make too much of a difference. It's not going to win or lose either one of us to fight. And he got guillotined, I think. So I don't know how the cage has anything to do with that.
Just last one for me. Normally when we see an American fighting someone of like Kai is very popular in Japan, and not just the Japanese fans, but like usually when it's someone fighting someone, like when you fought Mahayev, I assume there was a lot of Russian fans in your mentions and your DMs and everything. So I guess how have the Japanese MMA fans been treating you leading up to this one?
They're completely different. I get a lot. Yeah, the Russians, I don't think they like me very much, but the Japanese fans I think they're just, it kind of give me a new like excitement into fighting to see fans that are just fans of fighting. They don't really care about anything else, just that you fight and that you want to fight and that you can put on a good fight. So many people nitpick about everything, like, oh, your hair or your style or this is boring or that, but I've got none of that dealing with the Japanese fans. Not only that, it's really made me want to go and visit the country and see it firsthand. And I even tried to get involved with a sumo match with Kai after this fight in Japan because I have some beach wrestling experience. I'm a beach wrestling national champion, and it's similar to sumo a little bit. So it's I don't know. It's cool to see fight fans that are fans of fighting, and that's it. Nothing else really matters because that's what we're doing here. That's all it is, really.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the main event. Who you got between Duplessis and Chimaev?
Man, honestly, I keep going back and forth on it. Chimaev just looks so big and unstoppable. I'm going to go with Chimaev. I'm also a big fan of. He hasn't fought that many times, but every time that he's going to fight, I always kind of get excited to watch. But I mean, it's going to be a tough fight. It's very interesting and exciting. I don't really know. If I was betting, Well, I don't know. I'm going to go Chimaev on that. I think he's just too big and too strong.
Excuse me. You've had 20 fights in the UFC, and obviously the division has changed a lot. How has the division changed, and how have you changed with it?
Man, I mean, forever they were going to do away with the division, and then I remember when there was only 4 or 5 guys in the whole division, but I always stood fast and tried to stick around. I could definitely fight at 135 pounds, but I feel like I was one of the guys that kind of paved the way in the UFC for flyweights. Me and John Dodson and Ian McCall. There wasn't that many guys, but it's different now because there's a bunch of savages here. It's one of the most exciting. It's always been exciting, but now you got some stars in there, and the title has changed from Mighty Mouse being the reigning champ to Pantoja now, and it's really kind of open, and nothing's set in stone with who's going to be the champ, and there's so many good guys. I seen that on my season of The Ultimate Fighter, all these savages from different countries in there. So I don't know. I'm glad I stuck with it, and I feel like my legacy may not be the greatest, but I'm always going to be one of those guys that help keep this division around.
And then your last fight was in December 2023. Are you at all worried about ring rust and kind of being rusty when you step in there against Kai on Saturday?
Man, I'm worried about so many things, but ring rust isn't really one of them. There's not very many things on this planet that I feel confident that I could do, but on my deathbed, I can fight for 15 minutes, I feel like. And even if I don't have the cardio to support it, I'm still going to be able to go in there and give a good performance no matter what. I'm definitely getting older, and I'm starting to feel my age, but the drive and the want to fight, it's not even the want to be a champion or the want to win. I like to fight, and if it wasn't getting paid in the UFC, it would be in a Denny's parking lot. So I'm just lucky enough to be one of the guys that's been able to make a living doing something that he loves.
You're still ranked number 11 in the division.
That's crazy. I haven't fought in like 600 days. Like, what are these guys doing?
If you were to beat Kai on Saturday, is there anybody else in the top 10 that you would want to fight?
I mean, there's lots of guys that I want to fight. I kind of hate that, everybody kind of looks down on like gatekeepers, but I think that's a fair assessment for me. Like, if you can't beat Tim Elliott in the flyweight division, you should not be allowed to be in the UFC. Like, I'm okay with that. The problem with this fight is I feel like Kai's fought Pantoja, and now he's got to fight me. It's 2 tough guys in a row. I'm not saying that he couldn't come back from it, but 2 losses in a row really hurts that guy. I feel like I'm not going to be the guy that's going to be the UFC champion, and even if I was, it would be, taking something from some young guy who's trying to get to where I am. All I want to do now is put on exciting fights and enjoy what I'm doing and make some money. But there's tons of guys in the top 10 that I want to fight.
We'll just follow up on that in the front right here, other side.
Oh, shit.
Did you say you don't think you would be UFC champion? Is that what you said?
It's not that I don't think it. It's just that's not my goal is not try to be champion of the world. I don't necessarily care about that. My money's the same. I just want to put on good performances and have exciting fights and be able to support my family with this, this job that I've had since 2010. It's taken me a lot of places, but the most important thing is I've got to spend so much time with my daughter. I never had to have a babysitter or any of that, and the UFC allowed me to do that.